I felt like, the closer you are in proximity to your dreams, the closer they are to them becoming a reality. So I would just drive 3 hours here, work background, 3 hours back. And I did that for 6 years before things took off.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Orbital Tribe. So glad you could join us. Again, I know I took my time coming with season 2, but that's because I really wanted it to be special. I wanted it to be next level. And I think this next guest is going to make the wait worth it, especially if you know me from Tyler Perry Sisters. Everybody, please welcome. Some of y'all know him as Cowboy. Some of you know him as Preston. I know him as Trinity Whiteside has a black side. Welcome, Trinity. Thank you for coming here.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Absolutely.
I appreciate you, boss man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Making time in your busy schedule.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, listen, I'm grateful. I don't take it for granted. Just nobody owes you anything, and you certainly don't owe me anything. So,
no, I get it. I mean, all you had to do was ask. And
period. I did know. I ain't gonna lie. I knew you was gonna have my back. But that says a lot about, the bond we created on set. Like, we don't stay in touch throughout the year. We're Southern people. You got to have boundaries, especially with work. And then this industry, it could be really tricky, especially given the nature of our relationship on camera. But it's like you pick up where we left off, and I love that for us.
For sure. It's, we don't have to talk every day.
Right.
I mean, our relationship is going to be what it is.
I only talk to my mom every day.
That's it. I don't think there's too many people I want to talk to every day. My parents call daily, and I'm like, not today.
We're going to clip that because your parents can't know that you be hitting the FU button on them.
They know.
Oh, no. No, not FU to mom and dad.
You listen.
Decline.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure they understand. But you can't get mad when they hit the FU button on you.
I'm good.
Okay, yeah, because you don't call me.
Yeah, I don't have a chance to call.
Sons are like that, though. That's something I've noticed, that y'all don't take care of them when they get old. Y'all don't be calling them. Y'all do like the least when it comes time to plan for Mother's Day, Father's Day. Sons just be getting away with murder.
No, I really
y'all be their favorite.
No, but when it comes to special occasions like that, like, holidays, birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, things like that, like, I'm there. Like, I'm grandiose, and my mom, she's accepting of it. My dad's like, I don't need that. I got a job. I work. I'm like, man, will you take this gift?
Because I'm hitting the FU button throughout the year. Take the gift.
I owe you. At this point, I owe you.
Well, what I like to do, it's like a new tradition. I love tea. And I've been doing these blooming teas. So I can let you pick, or if you want to pick, I know you're probably not the biggest tea drinker. I know you're a black coffee man.
Yeah, I am. So I'm going to let you lead the way on.
I knew you was going to do that.
Of course.
Okay, I'll pick one for us. Honestly, I'll probably take the first one out because nobody got time. No, we can do a little better than these first. Let's do this one. It has multiple colors. You're special. You get the multiple colored one. The name of this one is called...
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
It's called Eternal Love.
Fitting, considering our
contact.
Yes.
I have to use my teeth. I keep forgetting to have scissors for this. Oh, that's not my lipstick. It's okay.
You good.
I knew what I was doing now. I barely got some on the paper. I've been working in showbiz. So the idea is that you drop it in and then it blooms.
Oh.
Like a flower. And by the end of it, it should look like this. I'm not going to show you guys. I'm going to let you see it. And it's
Really?
done.
Really?
Yeah. No, they're fine.
Okay.
They're fine. So as we talk, the tea will bloom.
Looking forward to it.
So Trini, I don't want to talk about sisters with you.
That's fine. Listen, that's all
Everybody know, I'm not talking about sisters. It's been 10 seasons. Well, we filmed 10 seasons. Season 9 is on by now. And I don't want to talk about that. What I want to talk about is, so the Orbital Tribe.
Okay.
this was born out of just my experience with how I found success. And it was not the traditional way. It was not with a lot of help. I had to go my own way. I had to trust God. I had to have a lot of faith. It's for people who go their own way and who are trying to find their way. And you fit that bill because I know your story. And the people need to know because you do not look like what you've endured. You don't look like what you've been through. So I really want the world to see you in a light that they haven't seen. I don't see too many people talk to you about this stuff, and I haven't heard you talk about a lot of the stuff that I know that you're so open with. So it wasn't like a big secret, but it's just I think people look at you and they think privileged. You know what I mean? Like he's a successful. He's a successful. He's a successful actor. And he's good looking and he's married. He's got kids. They're healthy. They're smart. He's healthy. I don't think, and I mean, no one's silly enough to think that anyone gets through life without problems. But I think there are some people who might be stuck in the ego story of how it's just easier for some people. But I want people to know what you have fought your way out of. So let's start at the beginning.
Yeah, where are we starting from? Where you need me to start from?
So you were born on a Saturday.
Oh, we starting from
you were
date of birth.
Conceived on a March wind. No, you couldn't have been conceived in March because you're born in July. I can't do that math that fast.
It's probably around November-ish.
Is it after or before? Wouldn't it be? 1 year would be July to July.
So it was November.
Oh, so it'd be 2 months after. August. It was hot in North Carolina. Your parents had nothing to do. No, but seriously. So, what was it like growing up in Asheville, North Carolina?
Asheville.
Did you always want to be an actor? What did you want to be when you were a kid? Like, how did it come about? Like,
I don't want to say that I always wanted to be an actor, but I always carried myself as such. I always felt like I was a celebrity, like I was famous, like I was special. Even as a child,
so you were a narcissist, got it.
No.
Got it. Just kidding. Yeah.
No. I mean, being identified early on in elementary school is both academically and artistically gifted, and always being the center of attention, always being the class clown. On top of
I don't think anybody believes you're the class clown because you're so like.
But I was though. And I don't think it was intentional. I think it was because, we would get assignments and I would be done so fast and I'm waiting and I'm bored. And so now I want to talk to this person next to me, or I want to ask the teacher a question without raising my hand while everybody else is trying to, all of those things. I want to tell a joke, so there was those things. And so I always felt different, always. And the fact that I did get a lot of attention made me kind of feel like, I was quote unquote celebrity. But the thing is, even as a kid though, like I took make-believe seriously. Like if I would play make-believe like with friends or cousins and they didn't do a part particularly right, I'm in my head like, I can't wait till I get home so I can do all of these parts by myself.
Because this is not...
Exactly. Like when I get home, I'm gonna redo all of this stuff by myself, and I'm gonna play everybody's part.
I wonder how it is that you started working with Tyler Perry. It's interesting.
No. Funny thing about it, and I don't know if I've ever told anyone this. While I was on my journey, and my journey started with me working background. I felt like, the closer you are in proximity to your dreams, the closer they are to them becoming a reality. So I would just drive 3 hours here, work background, 3 hours back. And I did that for 6 years before things took off. But I used that as opportunity to learn as much as I can from the people who are in a position that I aspire to be in. And so observation, what do they do before they take? How are they when they take? Oh, they're still running their lines right before the cameras roll. Oh, I thought they had to know that before they got here. So I'm learning everything that I could in all of those trips down here. And the thing about it is, I said, if I ever get to work with Tyler Perry, that's going to be the time that it happens. And this is before I ever met, this was years before I
Can we
ever
pause for
met
a
him.
second? Because there's a scripture that says life and death is in the power of the tongue. There's another scripture that says speak things as though they were. Continue.
And I truly believe that. Like, there was no expiration date on my dreams. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that anyone who's pursuing their dreams can do, is to say, I'm gonna give myself 2 years, I'm gonna give myself 5 years, 10 years, especially in this industry. It just doesn't work like that for most people. And the very moment you decide, oh, I've given it enough time, the very next day could have been that day.
It's like the skeleton 1 foot from the oasis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I just went at it day by day, never giving a thought to me failing, just always believing that it was going to happen. I didn't need to know how or when. That was irrelevant. The fact that it was going to was enough for me. My faith is something that never wavered, which is why out of all the hats I own, this is my favorite. Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of
things hoped for, but not, and the evidence of things not yet seen.
Indeed.
And then that chapter is bars. like Abraham offered. Listen. Don't get me started. I'm going to learn how to quote it one day. My preacher can quote it from like word for word.
Yeah.
Baby.
And so that's how, I met Tyler actually filming as an extra on Nobody's Fool.
Right.
And what's interesting about that is it was the first production that I worked on, which I had worked on dozens by then, that someone came in and started the day off or started the production off with a prayer.
Period.
And I was like, wow.
You know what it is.
That's never happened on anything I've been on. And so what I did was, like I did on every production, is I would go off by myself. Like everyone else wanted to be noticed. They wanted to get attention. They wanted to talk with everyone and have, that wasn't me. I would get a chair. I would drag it away from everybody, be by myself. Now I'm in a spot where I'm not bothered. I'm not distracted. I can watch those people who are in those positions that I hope to be in. And so I'm just watching, and Tyler's, as he is, in command, complete control. You do this, you do that, you this. And he turns and he looks for a second. He's like, and he turns back and he continues. And then he turns back to me and he calls me over and he's like, what's your name? I'm like, Trinity. He's like, Tyler Perry. I'm like, no shit. No, I really did. But in my head, I'm like, yeah. But he's like
6'4", like
and he's like, I think I'm going to use you in a lot of different scenes today. I hope you're okay with that. I was like, absolutely, whatever you need. And so much to the point where I'm doing so many wardrobe changes that the other background actors are like, are you a part of the cast in this? I'm like, no, I'm just like y'all. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to take it.
Was the way he used you, was it like you were literally a different person in each of the scenes?
No,
or were you the same person?
Yeah, I was the same person, just doing multiple different things.
I've seen that movie, but I gotta rewatch it now because I can't place you in my head.
Yeah. And so I wrap that day. I do all of that. I go back home. This was only supposed to be for one day. They call me back to come the next day. I can't because I have a prior obligation. So this was April of 2018. Fast forward December 2018, I go back down again. He's doing A Fall from Grace for Netflix. And so I walk on set and he's like, hey, Trinity. And I'm like, oh shit, he remembered me, out of all the people. And I know he sees thousands upon thousands of people. And he's like, you were good luck for me on my last movie. Hope you are for me on this one. And so I'm shooting a bank scene, I remember. And we rap, and as most people know, once background raps, they take them back to background holding. And so we're about to leave, and he stops him. He's like, no, he's going to hang around with me for the day. And so that's what I did that entire day, was just hang with him, talk about the industry. He's asking me what my dream is. I'm telling him I don't know if anybody knows exactly what the dream is. I think the dream actually ends up being a collection of a lot of smaller dreams. And so we wrap that day. He's getting ready to leave, and he's getting on his ATV and he's about to leave. And then right before he closes the door, I remember grabbing the door and I'm like, "Hey, remember the name Trinity Whiteside because I'm gonna make it whether you know it or not."
Mm.
And he says, he looks, he's like, I won't forget it. This is December 2018. January 2019, I get a call from an assistant. "Hey, Tyler wants to invite you down. He's doing Medea's farewell tour."
Mm-hmm.
We go down as always with Tyler. Everything's first class.
Wait. Yeah, you was brought in?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so we go down. We enjoy that. He calls the next day. "Hey, how'd you like it? Tyler was amazing. I appreciate you." He's like, "Good." He was like, "I'm gonna get off here, but I'm sure I'll be talking to you soon." A few months later, it's like Easter. And I get a text. It's like, "Happy Easter," but I don't know the number. I'm like, "Who is this?" It was like,
I know these debt collectors ain't trying to hook me with
Easter.
happy, holiday texts.
But I text back, I'm like, "Who's this?" He's like, "It's Tyler." I'm like, "Oh, happy Easter." He's like, "Hey, have you heard from anyone about an audition?" I'm like, "I haven't heard anything." It was like, then somebody's made a mistake. He said, "Give me like 30 minutes. It wasn't 10 minutes before before I get all of this stuff, this audition for Oval. And so that's like April 2019. I fly down first week of May 2019 and I audition for the Oval, a character named Picky. Tyler's like, "You had a great audition." He was like, "But the person chosen for the mom doesn't fit you playing the son." I'm like, and this is when, by the time I get to the airport, I'm like, "No worries." I was like, "I appreciate the opportunity. I'm sure we'll work together again soon in the future." Maybe 3 or 4 days later, he sent me a screenshot from his computer where he's writing Sisters.
So he wrote. So yeah, Preston was written for you.
And yeah, and so
wasn't he initially just like going to be a day player or something?
So he writes, and it's the introduction is where Preston first meets Danny at the airport. It's the scene that he sends me on his computer. He was like, "Hey, I got this role I think you're perfect for. It's only one episode right now, but if you kill it, it'll turn into a lot more." I was like, "Absolutely, no problem."
Anybody who knows the show know that was a funky lie. Not that Tyler knew he was lying. 6 whole seasons.
And so
God is somebody.
you know.
But I want to go back because I love that breakthrough stories, right? That story in everyone's life, that moment where you're on the precipice of something and it's pass fail.
Right.
It's pass fail, and that's what this is. But I want to go back, right? Because young Trinity was gifted.
Yes.
Young Trinity was left and right brain. I did an episode with Julie Mango, and she's literally genius on both sides too, creatively and left brain. Like, somebody help me. Left brain is logic, right brain's arts and creativity. It's fine. You know what I'm trying to say. Don't worry about it. The point is, that's you, right? But that was you. It's not the path you took.
Oh, absolutely not. There were definitely a lot of.
Let's tap into what? High school, middle school, high school.
Yeah, let's
couple things happen.
Yeah, so
yeah, and don't be ashamed.
Absolutely not. There, you listen. That's a part of my makeup, and and I feel like our mistakes are what makes us, as long as we learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was a troubled, very very troubled kid. I was a fighter. I was always fighting, always in trouble. I was like instantly, like that was my thing. Oh, you said
On
this,
site, right?
Yeah.
You don't do no arguing. You don't do no talking.
no,
It's
no,
Bob. It's like what?
no.
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
action.
yeah.
You know, and so that was me. Like even in elementary school, I was like that. I was always like that. I was always ready to fight. That's how I solved um, a lot of issues, or at least I thought I was solving them. But so there was that. I was defiant. Like I remember being in ISS. My ISS teacher had been an ISS teacher for over 2 decades, and she called my dad. And my dad didn't handle stuff like that. My mom handled those kind of things because my dad was working. But she had to talk to somebody else. She was like, "Because this is ridiculous." But I remember her telling me, she was like, "I've been doing this for over 2 decades, and this is the most defiant person I've ever met in my life." Because in my mind was, if I want to do it, I'm going to do it. If I don't want to do it, there's not a soul on this earth that can make me do it.
Real quick, that's so important though, because you see how that defiance in the face of adversity is a gift.
Yeah.
It's your superpower.
Yeah.
When you're growing up, not so much. It's kind of like that story when Jesus was 12 and they go to Jerusalem for Passover, and Mary and Joseph are on the way back, and it ain't a couple of days till they realize, wait, where's our baby? Where's Jesus? And then they get to him and he's like, did you know I had to be about my father's business? And they were like, why would you do that to us? The Bible goes on to say that from that day forward, he submitted to Mary and Joseph. See, there's a time for that defiance.
Right.
And people like me and you didn't get that as kids.
No, not
But
at all.
can I say this, though? Society fails people like me and you because they don't recognize, like, oh, this child has a strong will. Instead of me trying to break them, let me rear them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you felt this, but do you feel like authority figures were always just trying to win with you?
Absolutely.
Always trying to like make you say uncle, and like it's like,
yeah, it's like,
good luck.
It's like I'm the authority figure. You're supposed to believe what I believe, think what I think, agree
Do what
I say, and I just wasn't going for that.
And we just had a strong sense of self, an internal locus of control. It's like, no, go clean your room. This is before TiVo and before you could pause it. I got to clean it right now in the middle of the sister episode. Ain't my room gonna be there when I'm
exactly.
I can't pause. Can I finish this sister episode?
Exactly.
Work with me, lady, but no.
Yeah.
No.
And it was like with my ISS teacher, like I was in there for like 2 weeks straight because I was in so much trouble. They were like, this 1 day, 3 day, 5 days ain't getting it. But
it's your homeroom now.
Yeah, exactly. And so they sent a week's worth of my classwork. Okay, well, by lunch the first day, I'm done. Because my attitude was, okay, you want to send all my work. You think you're punishing me by sending my work. Let me show you what's about to happen. And so I finished it all. So the excuse then was, okay, well, he's done. Let's give him some busy work. Here, copy the dictionary.
All you doing is giving me a bigger lexicon.
Because I copied the entire dictionary. And at that point, it's like, okay, what do we give him now? He's in here. Oh, let's give him. Once we got past the dictionary part, it's like, okay, I've proven my point. Whatever y'all throw at me, I'm going to handle. I'm done. Don't give me anything else and just say, do it. I'm already punished by being in here away from everybody else. You're not going to punish me again by giving me work that's not going to count towards anything.
That's double jeopardy.
Yeah. You know?
Even America know that.
And so those troubles just kind of followed me all the way through high school. And even though a lot of people would say I was spoiled as a child as far as like materialistic things, like that didn't stop me from making the mistakes that I made. Like I ended up selling drugs, like nothing huge, but for a kid 16, 17, 18 to be making the kind of money that I was making was a big deal. It's like, you got the best of everything. How do you have this? How do you have that? And it's like,
y'all, let's go to Sonic. Bruce says he says on me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's on me. I got everybody. Y'all good. You know, and that kind of thing. But the weirdest thing is the way that things work is, and I've told people this, I said, God will do whatever he has to do to get you to where he needs you to be. And so.
Say that.
And so. What I used to do is I used to sell weed during school. And what I used to do is when I wasn't selling it, I would hide it in the ceiling of the school because you could stand up on the bench and you can lift the ceiling parts up. And I used to hide it up in there. So let me set this whole story up. A week prior to this, now there's this day that I didn't hide it. I actually had it on me in my book bag. Week prior to this day, it was after school. The doors lock at a certain time when people are waiting for their ride. So a kid can't get into the school building. And me being the smartest that I am, I'm standing at the door. I'm not letting him in. So he starts to walk off, and I'm like, I'm just playing. I open the door to let him in. Well, he shoots me a bird. Okay, now I'm pissed off because I pissed him off. So he walks all the way around and comes in a different entrance. And once he gets in, I just fired him, and it was action. And so little did I know, the school resource officer, not the child himself, but the school resource officer, pressed charges for assault for the child.
They was sick of your ish.
You better believe it.
Baby, they was sick of you. They hated to see you coming.
I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And so what they did was, to me, I felt like it was all coordinated because they waited. They could have served the warrant anytime, you know, a weekend, after school hours. They waited to serve the warrant on me while I was at school. Because see, then once they arrest you, they have right to search your belongings. And on the one day that I didn't put the weed in the ceiling is the one day that they served the warrant. And when they did, I was in the cafeteria knowing I was supposed to be in my English class because I said I was going to the bathroom, but I'm in the cafeteria, and I'll never forget this. I'm sitting at a table with my friend, and two police officers walking to the cafeteria, and we used to joke around all the time, and he was like, "Oh, they here to get you." I was like, "Shit." They walked directly up to me and was like, "Can we see you in the hallway?" I was like, "Oh, shit." As soon as they got me in the hallway, they put handcuffs on me. I felt like they was trying to embarrass me because that wasn't really necessary.
Make an example out of you.
They put handcuffs on me in the hallway and walked me through the entire school.
Wait, like they took a lap?
Like we were on the complete opposite end from where they were parked.
Oh, so they took a lap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make an example out of you.
And
shame.
Exactly. Shame. That's exactly what Game of Thrones. Listen. And the whole time, like, I'm not worried about the assault charge. Like, I'm coming home from that.
You know what's in your bag.
I was like, I know what's in my bag. And
the bag is hot.
And so a friend of mine had my girlfriend at the time go try and get my book back from the office. They told her no. I'm like, gosh. I'm like, hopefully they can go through it. Maybe I can get in there when I go to school the next day.
You thought you was going to school the next day?
I went to school the next day.
You did?
I did. When I went to school the next day, as soon as I got in the building, I walked right into the principal's office, grabbed my book bag. Nobody knew. I opened my book bag and seen that the weed was gone. I was like, oh, they about to call my name. As soon as
the jig is up.
As soon as I went to homeroom, the phone rang. And we need Trinity Whiteside in the office. I'm like, dang. And so then there's a drug charge, and ends up being a felony charge because the marijuana was bagged individually to sell.
Oh, you distributing.
Yes. So then it wasn't just possession because it wasn't a lot at the time.
But the intent to distribute.
Yeah, the intent to, I'll never forget, the intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver.
How you manufacture weed, y'all?
You know?
Is he a greenhouse? Come on now.
You know?
I don't understand that one.
It didn't have enough, and here's where the people think, privilege and all that. No, I had a court-appointed attorney. I didn't have enough money to get my own. I wish I did, but I didn't. And for anyone who's ever had a court-appointed attorney, they don't give a damn what happens. They getting paid regardless.
And low key, they work for the court.
Exactly.
Like the way the solicitor works for the court,
Exactly.
they don't work for you.
And that was the first charge that I had ever had. And I was on, I did house arrest for 3 months. I did intensive probation, which is you can't be outside of the house after like 6 p.m.
So they had to wait. So what did they what punishment did they doled out? House arrest, probation, what else?
They tried to give me 300 hours of community service. Listen, I was still trouble after the charge. Like, so they put me in the absolute.
You needed to go to jail.
They put me in the absolute worst place. They put me in a dog shelter. Mind you, I
love dogs.
But yeah, if it's your dog and it's.
But these are like
just,
violent dogs.
And you're just cleaning dog shit all day.
That's like why you're not crazy about dogs to this day.
You cleaning out cages and all of that. And mind you, like, I'm still in school, so the only hours I really have is like right after school till like 5 o'clock.
So you was gonna be in there.
That's 2 hours, and then if I want to go on the weekends, well, I'm like, if I'm in here Monday through Friday, I'm definitely not going on the weekend. So,
them 300 hours took you a minute.
No, this is why I say I was still. So, there was a girl there who I had forged my hours. Well, she got caught.
Oh, he's always been this good looking too. That's the issue. That's the other issue. Because beauty privilege is another thing. Beauty privilege will literally there are studies that show if a person's attractive, they are less likely to be convicted of crimes that they are 100% guilty of.
Listen, it didn't work out for me in this instance.
So she forged it. I'm talking about somebody willing to forge stuff for you.
Yeah, but she wasn't no good because she got caught. So I'm like, you ragged
dummy.
So when my probation officer found out I got caught, he's like, well, we know you got caught. This is what's going to happen. You're going to do 7 days in county jail. I'm like, you could have gave me that to begin with. And I could have been like, please and thank you. Let me get it over with. What the, like, what kind of shit is that?
Well, were you still a minor, though? Is that what
No, I was 18.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the fact that you only got that at 18, I mean, let's just keep it real. Like, you look white to a lot of people. If you was my complexion, your ass been in that lockup. Excuse me.
Listen.
You've been in that lockup.
But it's like, I'm like, the audacity, 300 hours compared to 7 days and it's over. Like,
did you do 7 days?
Absolutely.
How was that? What was it like on the inside? Did you join a gang? They were too sarcastic for the white gangs, I'm sure of it.
No, see, the crazy thing is, like, where I was staying, they had like one jail that's just like everybody has an individual cell. So everybody's locked back, 18 hours out of the day. You get like 1 hour out for breakfast, you get 2 out for lunch, you get 3 out for dinner. And then there's another one down below where everybody's in like this big gymnasium together and it's just bunk beds. And you would think, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be there. But honestly, it's really like you're out. You can watch TV all day. You can play cards all day. Like nobody's locked in a small cell all day.
You can socialize.
Yes, absolutely. And so.
But you antisocial. Did you socialize? Or did you
Absolutely. I mean, I will talk if someone's willing to talk. If they want to talk to me, then. But I'm not going to seek out conversation.
So did you join a gang? Like,
no.
Do you have your tattoos still?
No tattoos. As anyone who's seen the show, they know I don't have any tattoos anywhere.
Well, yeah, he's been pretty negative. Okay, so did you win? What did you win? Cigarettes? What did people get money on your books?
No, I just you trying to be funny. I just passed the time. It was just
you cone rolling hair. What was happening?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But no, I'll never forget it though, because like my last day was like when we had like daylight savings, so an hour got cut off of my time. I was like, hell yeah, let's get up out of here. But yeah, that was. But I knew I didn't want to go back. Like at
So
all.
was that the end of your crime streak?
No, it wasn't. It was the end of me getting caught streak.
Did you go back to selling? You went back to selling.
Sporadically, um, out of necessity,
Right.
but it just, some things happen, like, getting married and having kids, and it's like,
That's what I was gonna say. What saved
it,
you? What do you think turned it around? Like what?
that really, I think those two things kept me from what I feel like would have been a tragedy.
Finding love,
Yeah, and
getting some purpose outside of
people
yourself.
whose lives mean more to you than your own.
That's beautiful.
And
Yeah.
so it's like, I might be broke, I might not have this, I might not have that, but my
Kids can't see me going in and
yeah,
out.
my presence is worth more. Like I did BTs for the fellas, or we talk about things from a man's point of view, and they have us like give words of wisdom to fathers to be. And what I shared with them, and what I have always believed, is that your presence will always mean more than the presence. They 10 years from now, a kid's not gonna care that you bought them their favorite toy. They're gonna care that my dad was at my baseball game, that were at my, show with the school and things of that nature. Those are the things that are gonna make the best memories.
That's true. Because like when I was less healed, I felt like, oh, my childhood, and, da 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 da. But as I've done more healing and I understand that, my parents did the best they could, I look at back on my childhood and I was like, I have some really great memories. And it consists of being in the living room with everyone in my family. Like I have 3 siblings, my 2 parents. My parents didn't get divorced until I was in college. So I grew up in a 2-parent household essentially. And on Fridays, we would go to Hollywood Video. There came a point where they were like, Mignon, you pick the movies, and we would go through like a billion bags of microwave popcorn. We would watch inappropriate movies. I think that's why my humor was as sophisticated as early on as like they let me watch Comic View at 6, y'all.
Listen, Comic View, and Comic View didn't come on till late.
So, and it was Friday night though. So they was
Yes.
like, what y'all watching? Okay. Like, long as it wasn't like boobies on the screen and too much whatever, but like, and even if a sex scene did come up, they would be like, cover your eyes.
Yeah, and that's when you like this.
Right. But then my parents they were like, Vincent, because my brother was the one, they were like, I'm covering your eyes. Like, but like me, I was kind of like, what's happening? What's the problem? But
Exactly.
yeah, like to me, I'm like, that's a good life. Like, that's a good, and we didn't have everything we needed. And my dad was an entrepreneur. I like to say all the time, a baker can't work for nobody, baby. Oh, my siblings, they refused to work for somebody. And my daddy, like, we can't work for, probably a lot like you, that defiant, rebellious. But this is something I want to get back to, though. You went back to selling, but then once you met your wife and your daughter, and then you guys had more kids, like, I mean, was there like a specific turning point, or was it just kind of like this little by little type thing? Like, what do you think made the change for you? And then what was your plan? Because I think I remember you telling me at one point, like, you didn't go immediately into like doing background. Like, you were going to get a trade. And
Yeah, I was just working odds and ends jobs, and
how long did you do that?
oh, till like 2013. And so by that point, I had already been married for 11 years, and we had 3 kids. And, you know, my wife had became a CNA, and then from a CNA, she became a nurse. And she really, like, she was the support.
Yeah, so y'all focused on her, and you
Yes.
did like the little stuff here and there to supplement so that she could actually go for her.
Yeah, and she did, and
That's teamwork.
yeah, and when I stopped doing odds and ends jobs, and my plan was to become a dental hygienist, because I've always had a thing for teeth. Like, even when all my kids were small, and like before they even had
But
teeth.
you didn't have to wear braces or anything, though.
No, and but like thousands of dollars were spent on my teeth as a kid. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do see your baby picture. You're like,
Yeah.
when you were younger. It's still cute. That reminds me of my nephew. His teeth are like that.
Yeah.
Kind of bucky. Okay.
It's and so when my kids were little, I'm like teeth, teeth, teeth. And so I would get the little baby oral gel with the little rubber toothbrush. It goes
Oh,
on
to
your
shape their.
it goes onto your finger like a toothbrush because you can't get an actual toothbrush.
Oh,
So
you
you
was just
stick
trying to
it on
clean
your
them. I thought you
finger.
were like shaping them. Okay.
No, no, no. And then so I would always, if they ate, I'm brushing their teeth
Mm-hmm.
afterwards because I want their teeth to come in nice and pretty and white and all of those things. And so I was like, oh, I have a thing for that. I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the the dental program a couple of months, and I came home. I'm like, I can already envision that this is not for me. Like the repetitiveness, like I can't. I'll get bored so easy, and the dread of it. And I came in, and I didn't say a word, and I'll never forget. When I came in, I opened the door. My wife was sitting on the couch. I barely got my shoes off, and she was like, "What's wrong?" I didn't say anything. She's like, "What's wrong?" Because she knows me better than anyone. I would venture to say she probably knows me better than I know me.
Mm. I mean, you've lived more life together than y'all did separately, right?
Right.
Because y'all got you married what 2021?
20.
Yeah, like you've lived more life with her and with your family than without.
Yeah.
That's
And
beautiful.
there's so many things that I didn't realize about myself that she picked up on so early, and I'm like,
That's what they say about a
what are you
partner.
talking
They're a
about? Like,
mirror.
I'm like, you to this day, and I'm like, and then I can look back and I'm like,
She was right.
she was right. And so I hit the door that day, and she's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, I I don't want to do this. I was like, this is gonna be miserable. And she's like, well, what do you want to do? Instantaneously, I want to act. It's not even something that
You didn't even think
I
about it.
was thinking about, but I'm just like, as soon as she asked, it's like, I want to act. And she's like, let's do it.
So that's when you jumped in the background.
She's like, let's do it. She was like, let's get your headshots. She started sending
Come on,
she
support.
started sending all of my bio and all of that to all the casting agents for all the background stuff. Like she put more work into it than I was even able to put into it from the jump.
She was your manager.
Yes. So she was the support emotionally, physically, financially throughout the entire thing. Like I have no doubt whatsoever that without that kind of support, I would not be where I am as far as where my career goes. And so I'm forever indebted. I always said, like, the first time I win an award for my work, it's going to be thank God, thank her, and thank Tyler because he gave me a shot,
He opened the door.
you know, with no quote unquote experience outside of life experience in my own abilities. And so,
That's one thing we have in common. Neither of us was represented when we got our stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It was just sheer. And so that's what the Orbital Tribe is about, right? Like people who have found success or trying to find success while still going their own way because they've tried the traditional route and the door just will not open for them. You know, they're trying to go across the bridge, but the troll is like, no. They're trying to get on the boat to go across the water. And they're like, there's no room left in the boat. So us Orbital Tribe people, we swim across if we have to, or we build our own raft, or we figure out a jetpack. Like those people, that's us. So, what would you tell people? Like, how would you encourage them to stay on their path and to go their own way? Like, what do you think? What signals should they be looking for? I like to think, I like God winks. You know, pay attention to God winks. Like, what advice would you give them to keep going even when it's like this doesn't make sense? And it doesn't have to be for acting. I think it's something. I think truth is true no matter what field it's in. So I mean, what would you say to them? Because I mean, your story is remarkable.
well, a couple of things. For one, when you can't make sense of it, it's God. It's God. And two, one thing people need to, if they can accept this early on, I think the path will be a little bit easier no matter which path they take. Achieving your goals and reaching your dreams doesn't have to look like the path you envisioned. It doesn't have to look like that. You can see it a completely different way, and it happens the total opposite. And that's all that really matters, is that it happens, not how or when or why.
The surrender. I think our egos want things to happen the way we envision. But if you can surrender to the process and remove attachment to the outcome. And I know that's like, well, Mignon, how do I remove attachment to an outcome? If I want to be an actor, then my outcome is that I'm an actor, right? Like, so I'm not saying that, but I'm saying detach from, I guess, the meaning you make of something. You know, because I remember part of, like, before I got the audition for the show, I feel like I had like an Abraham test where it was like me and God in a moment where I was like, is this for me? Because I was just struggling so much. And he was like, no, it's not. And I was like, okay, well, can I at least be a writer? And I think in that moment, because I was like, all right, fine. And I feel like almost immediately after that, he was like, gotcha, it's for you. But I wanted to see if you would let me have it.
Yes.
He was like, I wanted to see if you would surrender that thing to me. If you really are willing to submit to my process and trust that my plans for you are good. And I like how you talk about how God will do whatever he has to do to get to where he wants you, because God made you the way he made you for a reason. Yes. From your looks to your brain to everything, where you were born, all of it, the accent, all of it. Because if you didn't have the accent, you couldn't have played Preston.
You know?
You couldn't have played him.
And that's the one thing that, like, I worried about, because I know my sound is
specific.
Very specific. Very specific.
Specific.
So I didn't worry about anything else.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing is that so many people love my accent, and I'm like,
because it's a drawl and it's in the back of your. It sounds like you're just waking up all the time.
You know? Yeah, yeah. I've had so many people, like, we've been walking and they'll be like, I knew it was you because I heard you talk.
You can't hide.
You know,
you're gonna have to write on a piece of paper. Don't do what Ryan Cook was doing. They called the police on him, but like you're gonna have to write on a piece of paper if you're trying to hide. Because it's like.
But that was my one concern. Was like, am I gonna have to change up my dialect? And I don't listen. If y'all like it, I love it.
The thing is, it's not about changing who you are. It's definitely about having versatility. Can you do accents? Sure, do the accents, but yeah, you can have your accent and still get 6 seasons on the show when you were only supposed to be in one episode.
One, you know.
And I love how you understand that scripture. Practically, there's a scripture that says God chastises those he loves. And how you can look back and see God's fingerprints on you getting caught, getting in trouble, going to jail. Because how could God give you this if you never humbled yourself and you never surrendered yourself? You know, humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, and in due time, he will lift you up. And you had to go through that process because it's like, I want you to be a renegade, but I want you to be a renegade for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you constantly, you know, fighting unnecessary battles and being difficult for the sake of it. But I want you to be difficult in the face of injustice, right? I want you to be difficult in the face of unfairness. I want you to be difficult in the face of people who are being marginalized and you being a voice for them. Like, that's, God gave you that for that reason, but not for you to just like, you know, giving teachers a hard day. They're already underpaid,
you know,
Trinity.
You know.
That's me too. That was me too.
You know, see,
I just talked too much. I wasn't fighting. Now you was throwing bows. I was not doing.
Yeah, it's, you know, and I'm still working on that. Like I
being a renegade.
No.
Oh, I was about to say, like, he's so easy
on making sure that the things that I do, like, that God would be proud of that. Like I go to him every day. Like, be patient with me. Like I'm trying. See my heart. Know I'm trying. It's difficult. I'm having a hard time. I'm trying. I'm having a really bad time right now. I'm trying, you know. And so everything is not where I would like it to be, but I'm thankful that it's not where it was.
Amen.
You know, I'm saved, not safe.
Right. Amen. Because no, seriously, that's the process of sanctification. That's the process, like, and that's all Christ cares about. You know what I'm saying? Like, on one hand, Peter was the rock that he would build the church. Baby, wasn't it the same chapter that Peter denied him 3 times? That's the same dude. And the difference between a Peter and a Judas is Peter had a good heart and he had accountability. And he truly loved Christ, whereas Judas loved Jesus, but he loved the version of Jesus he thought he should be, and he didn't want to take accountability. And instead of taking accountability, because here's the thing, I believe there would have been forgiveness for Judas. I do, because Jesus forgave that thief on the cross. He was being crucified for his sin, dying in his sin. But he said, remember me. And he said, baby, tonight you're going to be with me in paradise. I think that the efficacy of what Christ did on the cross can save anybody, but you got to want it. Yeah. And I think that's what God looks for. It's like, hey, be patient with me, oh Lord. Right?
Yeah.
Don't take your Holy Spirit from me. Because that's what David said after Nathan came to him about sleeping with Bathsheba and, killing Uriah. It was very much so. He was like, just don't take your Holy Spirit from me. It wasn't like, don't take my crown, don't take my kingdom. It was, don't take your Holy Spirit from me. I don't want to lose your presence. And if you have that mindset, I think God can be patient with it. Like, God is so long-suffering. His mercies are new every morning. So the fact that you have that heart, I mean, I know that God is looking at you like, that's my boy. That's my guy right there. He knew exactly what he was doing with you.
Yeah. I know you look at me sometimes like,
come on, man. Come on. Same. He's like, wow, we just talked about that.
Yeah.
He's patient though.
And I'm like, and I know he is, and I'm like, I'm trying. Like,
and there's some days I'm like, you have to forgive me, Lord.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the best I got in me.
A lot of that.
Because Lord, I'm not you. You already paid it all.
Right.
I'm not going to pay it all. Your mercies are new every morning. Mine aren't. Okay? That's me. That's how, that's, devil's been busy. The devil's been busy. But sure. I want to ask you, what are you working on right now? Is there anything you want to share?
I'm auditioning, but I guess I can go ahead and say this. There's there's a play in Brooklyn in October that I'm in negotiation for right now. Yes.
So prayer list.
And
praying on that with.
And the crazy thing is, like, it came out of the blue. It's not something that my team reached out for. It's just somebody who like saw me and knew my work and was like, he'd be perfect. And
so you mean you have a job? Got it. Okay. Yeah. So you're going to be in a play, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
Exactly.
Amen. That's so amazing. I'm excited. Have you done theater before?
No, but I'm excited about it.
You should be.
Yeah.
You should be.
Yeah. And it's just like, for me, like any and I'm still in that same mindset when I was as background, like any opportunity I can use to learn as much as I can. Like, even when we were filming, like, I'm watching you and how you prep and how you perform and things that you do while we're filming, before, after, and I'm watching everybody else on the cast and I'm learning. I'm like, oh, wow.
Stop it, Trinity. You're so kind. Stop.
I still think about like the connectivity exercise you had us do and how.
That's not me. That's Ivana Chubbuck.
And but I knew nothing about that.
Sometimes I wonder if it's witchcraft.
But it helped.
It helped.
I absolutely believe it helped.
For sure.
For sure. I mean, it ain't like we really had a choice considering our first day of filming.
Wasn't our first day of filming our love scene?
Yes. I'm like, listen, first of all, I didn't know y'all had already been here like for days, like rehearsing and stuff, because y'all like.
Did you start second week or first week?
The first week.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all had been here, and I got here the Sunday before we started filming on Monday.
Because you weren't a series regular. You were still just, you were a guest.
And so I'm like, I hadn't met anyone. I didn't know anyone. I hadn't rehearsed with anyone.
Me and KJ came and found you in your dressing room.
Yes, I remember that.
This boy is crazy, because that first meeting, we were like, oh, wait, okay, hold on, all right.
Yeah, y'all just like knocking. I was like, come in.
Right. Ain't shy at all. So I have rapid fire questions for you. Did I drop them? We're gonna do some rapid fire questions real quick. Like we got a little bit of time, real quick.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, I'd love to hear your answers to these. I'm excited. What role would you secretly love to play? It could be something that hasn't been written yet, some idea you have, or a movie that's or a TV show that
Um,
already exists.
I would love to play like most people would, like a Marvel hero, but I don't know if that's at the top of my list. Like it's up there, but I want to play a anti-hero. It's like, but not in the superhero genre, just like in a drama where he's like, he's bad, but you love him anyway, and you know you shouldn't love
Like
this
Frank
person.
Lucas,
Yeah. Or like
the Joker.
what's the name? Is it Jeffrey Dean on Walking Dead?
I didn't watch Walking. I can't do zombies. I didn't watch it, but I think
Jeffrey
his
Morgan.
character. I think his character.
Yeah.
It is Jeffrey Dean. It's Dean.
Yeah,
Some
okay.
Dean, or it could be Morgan. I don't know.
Yeah, but either way, like Negan, his character, like
Hmm.
he was killing main characters that people loved, and
Hmm.
people like end up loving him even though he's that person. Like I think that would be so, because I feel like it's a challenge. Like you're supposed to be bad and people are supposed
I
to
think
not
it's
like you.
fun.
Yeah.
I think I would love to play. I'd love to play like a Cersei Lannister too.
Yeah, you know?
You know what I mean? Or like a really sophisticated version of like Ursula or something like that. But at the same time, yeah, I get what you mean about the villain. But you also told me one I remember from a couple of years
Oh,
ago.
and I still want to
Your
do it, but
childhood one.
they're filming that now, and I'm like,
Who cares? Tell us. You don't
I
have
would
to.
have loved to play He-Man.
I know.
I would have been perfect for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even as a child, like I even had the He-Man haircut, and my hair was blonde at the time
Baby,
too.
there's been 8
No,
Supermen in the last 8 years. Who knows? There
who
could be
knows?
more than one
You
He-Man.
know that part.
There
I
could be
mean,
somebody else's He-Man and then so-and-so's He-Man.
yeah, that part, because we've got like 12 different Batman, and they're going on at the same time and all that
Is it
stuff.
12 Batman, 8 Supermen?
Yeah, definitely.
I love that. I like the villain thing too because it's like I like the idea of playing a villain because it's the opportunity to create humanity and people that we often because I think as human beings we have like the fallacy or the cognitive distortion of black and white thinking.
Hmm.
Someone's either all bad or all good, or they're the villain in our story. And I think playing a really good villain allows people to exercise a certain level of cognitive flexibility and intellectual curiosity and emotional curiosity to understand where a person's coming from. You don't have to agree with them, but you can at least understand it.
Right.
Like the Joker's, the origin story
Yeah.
of the Joker or the origin story of Maleficent, like with Angelina Jolie. I think that's really sophisticated storytelling.
Yeah, but even the Joker in the Batman movie, like Heath Ledger's
He started
Joker.
it though.
Yes, like,
Prior to that, villains were not sophisticated, but he started it.
and he's supposed to be the bad guy. Everybody's supposed to be like Batman, Batman, Batman. But when I watched
We
that
loved the
movie,
Joker, but we rooted for Batman.
yeah,
Perfect.
that part
Perfect film. Okay, dream collaboration, dead or alive.
on screen.
Yeah.
On,
Or what other way do you mean?
well, I don't know if you're talking brand. I'm a footwear
Either,
person.
either.
I'm a
You
foot.
better plug it. Plug it.
Jordan brand, Nike. That's my.
I'll take that.
That's my.
We could get you a Just
Yeah.
Do It campaign.
Absolutely.
We could get a Just based upon your story, baby, you just did it.
Yeah,
We could do that.
exactly. Exactly. It don't even got to be a big contract. I just want back the money that I spent. If we
Right. Can I just get some reparations?
Yeah.
Because y'all, he has a problem. No judgment.
Yeah.
But you have a problem.
Yeah, I do. I'm working on it though.
You are?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I am. I
I
am.
don't know. I feel like you're gonna buy another pair. Cause like y'all, you can't see his feet, but it matches the jersey. It's problematic.
Yeah.
It looks good though. He's worn these, I want to say 3 times.
Probably around in there, yeah.
Okay. I rest my case. I know I'm home when fill in the blank.
I know I'm home when I can fall asleep. Like I'm not a big napper or anything like that. And like if I'm at home and the quietness and comfortness of home is like I don't even have to be sleepy to like my grandmother's house was one of those places, like because it like Asheville is southern, but Lake Lure, where my grandmother lives, was really country. But it's away from everything. There's no traffic running by. There's no buildings, no cars. If a car comes there, it's because they're family.
They're supposed to be there,
and so it's so quiet.
Mm.
And it's like even my kids, like they'll get there and just be sitting, and then the next thing you know, you look over at them and they done fell asleep.
This is your dad's mom or your mom?
My dad's mom.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It was like that for me when I would leave. I went to college in California, and my aunt lived in Vegas, so it was like a 4-hour drive. And I would never sleep as good as I would when I was at her house. Like the type of sleep where you wake up and you're like, where am I?
Yeah.
Like, it was like that type of sleep. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's out of nowhere. It's not planned. It's not because, oh, I'm exhausted. It's just, you're so comfortable.
Safety.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That was beautiful. You have to taste your tea. You didn't taste it.
Okay. I got you.
God, it's green tea. And first of all, y'all, here's the flower.
Hey, listen.
It's a really pretty flower. Don't make me waste. I'm just saying, don't make me waste my flower on you.
Like, I would never.
Do you want to cheers? Boy.
No, absolutely. Cheers, please.
He's the king of a look away. Like, he thinks he's in a mockumentary. At least it's a camera this time.
Listen, I'm just practicing.
Thank you so much for coming, Trinity.
It's a pleasure. You know, when we get together, it's
always
like time. Grandma's house.
It's like, stop. That's so sweet. That's an honor.
Yeah, indeed.
That's really kind. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a comfort and a familiarity and a safety. So, absolutely, I wouldn't have missed it.
Thank you.
And this tea better be good.
It's good. It's green tea. You guys, that is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Please follow Trinity Whiteside. Keep up with his career. Keep up with him because, like he told Tyler, remember the name.
Indeed.
Understand me? All right. So y'all take care, and until next time.